Hailey Van Lith garnered national attention as a freshman in high school, so by the time the 5-star recruit landed at Louisville, the expectations were enormous. Too much. Bravely speaking out about her battles with mental health, Van Lith recently revealed she felt trapped, was suicidal, and heavily medicated. Around that time, Stanford goalie Katie Meyer took her own life, shining a spotlight on the pressures of student athletes. Van Lith was inspired to see a sports psychologist, whom she said doubles as a therapist. Hailey transferred to LSU and then TCU, where she won a Big 12 championship a season after the Horned Frogs had to forfeit games. Van Lith also played 3-on-3 in the Paris Olympics. She was drafted 11th by the Sky, where she joins her former Tigers teammate Angel Reese. A'ja Wilson is the WNBA's reigning MVP, one of Time's Women of the Year, and the author of a New York Times bestseller. But her rise to stardom had a humble beginning. In high school, after struggling to read in front of her peers, Wilson was diagnosed with dyslexia. She hid it from almost everyone and went on to South Carolina, where she became a superstar for the Gamecocks. Her coach, Dawn Staley, asked A'ja to read scripture to the team in the locker room, which helped destigmatize her dyslexia. As her WNBA career skyrocketed, Wilson launched a foundation dedicated to dyslexia awareness and support, as well as anti-bullying. Wilson enters her 8th season with the Aces, coming off a season in which she averaged a WNBA record 26.9 points. Diamond DeShields was a WNBA All-Star in 2019 after averaging a career-high 16.2 points for the Sky, whom drafted her the season prior. As with most players at the time, she supplemented her income by joining an overseas team in the off-season. While playing for Turkey, DeShields injured her back, and an MRI revealed a tumor in her spine. After emergency surgery, she battled tremors, and even the touch of a feather was painful. Already unsure if she would play again, COVID struck and limited her rehab. Diamond kept her injury private, but eventually got back on the court. DeShields joined Connecticut in the offseason and hopes to prove she is still an elite player. She certainly has athleticism in her family. Her father Delino and brother Delino Jr. both played Major League Baseball. Laeticia Amihere was just 15 when she gained international fame for dunking in a game. She was also starring on Canada's national team when, during a game for her high school, Amihere broke her left ACL. After a year of recovery, she tore her right ACL. Laeticia recovered and committed to powerhouse South Carolina. She never regularly started for the Gamecocks, but likely would have at almost any other program. Before her final season, Amihere's brother Kofi died suddenly at the age of 30. 2 months later, her aunt and one of her biggest supporters succumbed to a long battle with breast cancer. Laeticia responded with her best season in South Carolina and was selected 8th by the Dream, becoming the first player of Ghanaian descent drafted into the WNBA. After being waived by Atlanta in February, Amihere signed with the Valkyries. Alyssa Thomas might be the toughest player in the WNBA, or at least the most stubborn. Thomas has played with a torn labrum in each arm for 7 seasons and cannot raise them above her head. Alyssa refuses to have the repairing surgery, as the rehab is similar to a torn Achilles, which she already battled in 2022. The injuries have not slowed her down, however, as her 15 triple-doubles are the most in WNBA history, and her 50% field goal percentage in 2024 was a career high. Thomas was drafted 4th overall out of Maryland in 2014 and spent 11 seasons with the Sun. However, she was traded to the Mercury in February, while her fiancé and former Connecticut teammate DeWanna Bonner signed with the Fever. Natasha Cloud had an active offseason. She was part of the trade that sent Alyssa Thomas to the Mercury, and then 6 weeks later she was traded again from the Sun to the Liberty. Not that Cloud is complaining about joining the defending champions in New York. Natasha, who starred at St. Joseph's University, is entering her 10th WNBA season in 11 years. She sat out 2020 to focus on social reform and earn the league's Community Assist Award. While continuing to speak out on racial justice, she played a career-high 38 games in 2024 and finished 3rd in the league in assists per game with 6.9. Cloud was also named to the All-Defensive Second Team. When Aaliyah Edwards was first learning how to play basketball, it was her brother Jermaine who taught her how to channel the Mamba mentality. The two shared a love for Kobe Bryant as well as post-workout ice cream. In February of 2017, Jermaine died suddenly of a heart issue. Edwards decided to honor her brother by wearing purple and gold braids, which she has now done from Crestwood Prep through her 4 seasons at UConn and into the WNBA. In her rookie season in 2024, Aaliyah averaged 7.6 points and 5.6 rebounds for the Mystics. The Kingston, Ontario native also played for Canada in the Paris Olympics. Elizabeth Williams is entering her 11th season in the WNBA, but first recovering from a major injury. The British-born Nigerian center was averaging 10 points and 7 rebounds in 2024 when she tore her meniscus in the 9th game of the season. Still, the Sky must have liked what they saw as they re-signed Williams in September with expectations of a bounce-back season. Elizabeth was drafted out of Duke by the Sun in 2015, but spent the next 6 seasons in Atlanta, where she became a key figure on the Dream Team that spoke out against co-owner Kelly Loeffler's opposition towards the Black Lives Matter movement. Williams' brother Mark, who also played at Duke, was the talk of the NBA in February when he was traded to the Lakers, only for the deal to be rescinded 2 days later. Before her senior season at Rutgers in 2012, Erica Wheeler lost her mother to cancer. Playing with a purpose, she returned to the court for her best season, averaging 10.5 points for the Scarlet Knights. Wheeler went undrafted and spent 2 seasons overseas before earning a tryout for the Dream. She played in 17 games for Atlanta before being cut. The following season, Erica signed with the Fever and eventually earned a starting role. In 2019, Wheeler became the first undrafted player to be named the WNBA All-Star Game MVP. Erica was set to compete in the Skills Challenge at the 2024 All-Star Weekend, but global computer outages delayed her travel. Wheeler, who hosts an annual pickleball event to support her foundation, signed with the Storm in February. When the Valkyries drafted Kaitlyn Chen 30th overall in the 2025 draft, she became the first player of Taiwanese descent to join the WNBA. Chen has been an inspiration to Asian Americans since first earning national recognition out of Southern California's Flint Ridge Prep. Kaitlyn committed to Princeton over Cal and North Carolina and won 3 consecutive Ivy League championships with the Tigers, tallying 359 assists, 3rd in program history. Chen graduated with a degree in medical anthropology, but had a year of eligibility remaining. Kaitlyn committed to UConn, where she shot better than 51% from the field and won a national championship. Whether she makes Golden State's Day 1 roster or not, Chen has already garnered popularity for her relentless hustle.